Okay, what's up guys? So in my last video I did a quick hoverbike setup so I can move it around. Now I'm going to make it a little bit better. I'm going to make it so that the character can walk up to the hoverbike and mount it. And I'm also I'll probably play around with the acceleration as well as try to figure out a way to make the hoverbike rotate with the undulating terrain. So first of all, I have to go back into the world settings here and set the default pawn class back to female warrior. For my last tutorial, it was set to hoverbike, but now I'm starting with the female warrior. Another thing that I did was in the inputs, I created an action mapping called mount dismount, and I'm going to be using the Z key on the keyboard. On the hoverbike, I created a is mounted boolean. So if it's mounted, this is all the animations that I did for the hoverbike in my last video. If it's not mounted, it's just going to sit there, so it's going to play this animation when it's just sitting on the ground, and it's going to do it once, and then it's going to get reset every 1 second. So what I'm going to do is I want to copy and paste this to all the other controls, because I don't want the hoverbike to be controllable unless it's mounted. It shouldn't move. So let's paste it here as well. Okay, so I'm going to go back into female warrior, and I'm going to call up the mount dismount action mapping that I created. So whenever the Z button is pressed, another thing that I have to do is I need to create a custom event. I'm going to actually do this first. This custom event is going to be called distance to hoverbike underscore tick in the event graph. So the event tick is constantly triggering this every tick, and it's coming out this way every tick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a flow called distance to hoverbike. So wherever the hoverbike is, first I need to, if you can see the player start right here, the hoverbike somewhere close. Put it right here. Okay, so whenever the character is moving around, as the character is moving around, the distance to the hoverbike should change constantly, because it's a tick function. So I'm going to get a get distance to. So this is a handy note that helps you calculate the distance between two things. So the first thing is the self, which is this female warrior blueprint, and the other actor is going to be the hoverbike. So in order to call that up, you go get all actors of class, and grab hoverbike. class to Hoverbike. So this looks kind of like complicated. It's got a lot of nodes involved, but this is, I don't know, a common way to reference like an actor outside of the actor that's being used right now. So I'm going to get a copy. So like this setup here allows me, like I'm in the female warrior blueprint, but this little bit of code allows me to access the Hoverbike and manipulate things. So here, getting a distance to between self and the other actor, so I grab this and just plug it in here, and then this value, because it's a tick, it's constantly being updated. So just to demonstrate, I'm going to compile. Yeah, so just to demonstrate this, I'm going to pull out of here and print string. Actually, this is attached to the wrong thing. Break this link. This has to be plugged into here. So as this is constantly updated, it's going to show on the top of the game screen this value. So if I press play, as you can see in the top left of the screen, you can see the 959. As I get closer, the number goes down. Because right now it's at 611. Closer. Oops, too far. So right here it says 69. So I think that's 69 to, I think, the center of the bike. So I'm just going to remember that 69. I probably round it up to 100. Okay. Hop back into player blueprint. So this tick is constantly updating that value. Now that we know that, I want to get rid of this. So whenever the input mount button is pressed, if I want to create a branch, if distance to Hoverbike, we saw that she was about 69 units away from the Hoverbike when she was standing right next to it. So I want to use 100 just to give her a little bit more room. When distance to Hoverbike is smaller, I'll do smaller or equal to for now. Smaller or equal to 100, then there's a whole bunch of things that I want to do. Oops. That's why I'm going to add a sequence. So, another thing that I should mention is the mesh of the female warrior shoes, the visibility is turned off. So for the time being, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to get a set actor location. Set actor rotation. Actually, what I'm going to do is my mounting animation only happens on this side. Actually, before I do that, I'm not going to worry about this. Well, actually, yeah, I'm not going to worry about that right now. Let's do something really simple. I'm going to disconnect this, and move all this over. I want to trade spaces with this. So as soon as the button is pressed, only if it's smaller or equal to 100, the distance, then immediately I need to get is mounted. I want to set the is mounted to true. I'm going to get the female warrior, set the visibility to true, because right now it's turned off. By default it's off. Oops. I need to get a controller possess. So basically how this works is the player controller, right now by default I set it so that the controller is controlling the female warrior. So you can see that it's the female warrior is possessed by the controller. So I'm going to instead possess this hoverbike. At the same time, I'm going to grab another player controller, and from here I'm going to press select unpossess, and as you can see there's no target on the unpossess, it just refers like to this thing, this blueprint, which is the female warrior. So it unpossesses the female warrior and possesses the hoverbike. Okay, I'm going to give this a bigger value actually. I also flip these around so the unpossess happens first. Another thing too, I need to destroy actor. I press play now. Press E. The reason why I destroyed actor is because if I don't destroy the actor, the female warrior will just be standing there while there's another female warrior on the hoverbike. Okay. So that looks good. Okay, actually want to do is I want to create a scene called go to location. I want to parent it under the mesh. And I want to rotate this around. 180 degrees so that the X is pointing this way. Because as soon as she's a certain distance and the Z button is pressed, I want her to snap to this location facing this direction. So with that, I'm going to compile that. Actually, this can be a lot closer. Maybe like that. I'll go back here. Maybe a couple more of these. I'll this over. Set after location. Set after rotation. So I'm going to grab the go-to location that I just created, go-to location. I'm going to grab the get world location. I'm going to plug it in. And from there, get world rotation. And plug it in here. So it immediately snaps there. And after it snaps there, I'm going to play an montage. I'm going to double check that I have I have the montage created, so I'm going to play maybe I don't have the montage created. Okay, I don't have the montage, so create on a montage. I'm just going to play animation. Play animation in mesh. And so this mounting animation is 1 second. So this is mounted variable. It's going to be after 1 second. I'm going to put a delay. You want to be able to move the bike around while she's mounting. And same with the visibility. I'll show everything here. These are all 1 second delays. for a delay, 1 second. Going to play animation. So I don't want to use this mesh because this is the female wire. I want to get the mesh from the Hoverbike. So the Hoverbike mesh. Oops. Okay, this one's going to play Hoverbike. Hover in, because sitting on the ground, he needs to do a little lift off. I'm gonna compile, and we'll try this out. So if I'm a certain distance, press, right about here, press Z. Yikes. Oh, I see why. Actually, I'm not sure. Friends. Right. It probably has to do the set actor location. Okay, so I'm going to try something different. Here, I added the move component to. I want to get rid of this. I got rid of the set actor location and rotation. I replaced it with this, but it doesn't make it any better. Get rid of that. What I'm going to do instead, I'm going to create another skeletal mesh, female warrior 2. Oops. just going to get rid of this go-to location. This female warrior is going to be parented to the main socket, but it's also going to be turned off. Or the visibility is going to be turned off. Go to compile. Okay, so I'm just going to go down this list again. So this actor, instead of waiting 1 second, is going to be destroyed right away, and the possess and unpossess is going to happen right away as well. So all this is fine. So destroy actor happens right away, and grab the female warrior PFW2 that I just created. Set visibility to true. As soon as that is turned on, play animation. This is going to play an animation right away, and it's going to be the mount animation. And exactly 1 second after that fairy mesh that's playing the anime. Oops, wrong one. The exact same. Where am I? Try this one's working. Delay. This one. Okay. So after 1 second, the female warrior that's standing beside the bike, as soon as it's turned on, 1 second after, it's going to be turned off. Okay. I'm going to try that out. So if I go, as I get close enough, I press Z. I don't know what's going on. Okay. I'm going to go back to what I had before. I'm going to get rid of all this. Right, for now I'm just going to worry about possessing and unpossessing. So I'll get rid of all these delays. Just quickly double check that it works. So if I press E, it's mounted now. But as you can see, it didn't destroy the actor, so she's still standing there, which is a problem. I'm going to go back and destroy actor. Keep it simple like that for now. Now I gotta do the same thing with the Hoverbike when she's mounted. I'm gonna call it the mount dismount action event when the Z button is pressed. But this is only gonna happen when is mounted equals true. A sequence of things that needs to happen. So the first thing is mounted is set to false right away. Okay, I'm going to bring back, I got rid of that go-to location, but I'm going to bring back, I'm going to create a scene, which is an empty object. I'm going to call it, I'll call it the same thing for now. I'm going to use it as a spawn location, but I'll parent that under, I'll parent it under the main socket. Rotate it around so the Z is pointing that way, where the X is pointing towards this way. I would have her spawn at that very location. I think it should be about there. I think if I put her here, then her toes would be like exactly right against the outside contour of the bike. And this has to be, I think, down here. So, get all actors of class. Select the female warrior EP, cast to female warrior EP, get a copy, oops, and I want to spawn actor for class. Spawn a female warrior BP. Let's put the struck pin. It's basically the go-to location we just created. Get world location. Get world rotation. Plug those in. So I'm going to spawn the female warrior, and she's going to appear right on the spot, and that's why I'm specifying the location and rotation of the go-to location. And I need to get player controller. I need 2 of these. So unpossess. And from here I need to possess. Possess the female warrior. She's going to go right here. I think this should work. We'll compile. So I got it working now. So I'll show you all the changes I made. So in the female warrior BP, I made it so that you can only mount the bike if no weapon is equipped, so equip number is 0. So that way the gun and the sword are on the female warrior's back while she's mounting. As soon as she mounts, she sets the mount boolean in the hover bike from the hover bike to true. The female skeletal mesh on the hover bike is visible. Unpossess the female warrior, possess the hover bike. And instead of destroying object, I'm just going to set the visibility of the mesh, the weapons in the hands, weapons on the back, and the face cover. And I'm going to set the capsule component to no collision. Everything else, like all the like the mesh, all the weapons, the face cover, all the collision is turned off. So the only thing that has collision is the capsule component. So I'm going to, when she's mounted, that's going to be turned off. So basically, like, she's still standing there. It's just that she's visible and she's not collidable. When the player is using the hover bike, same thing. It goes through get actors, get all actors in the class, female warrior BP, and when the dismount button, which is the same button as the mount, when that's pressed, it only triggers if is mounted is true, and if it's true, then it immediately sets it untrue. I got rid of the spawn function because I decided not to destroy her. She's still standing there, she's just invisible, so instead I'm going to get her to immediately move. I'm going to move the capsule. I want to grab the capsule component from the female warrior and move the capsule component. Oops. I should move this up here. I'm going to move the capsule component to the go-to location, and the world location and world rotation are plugged in here. And that happens, it says over time 0.2. I guess that's fine. It could be 0, but I'll just leave it to 0.2. And then, same as the other situation, I'm going to unpossess the hover bike and then possess the female warrior. I'm going to set the visibility of the female warrior on the hover bike to not visible, and then I want to turn on the visibility of the female warrior mesh, face cover, and the two weapons on the back. The two weapons in the hand I don't have to worry about. And I'm going to set the female warrior's capsule component back to collision enabled query and physics. And one last thing that I want to do is in the hover, character movement, the speed is it says 600. Let me just see for a second. I'll go back into I'll go back to this run. Character movement, max walk speed. Okay, I want to use just the exact same thing. In here. I'm just going to copy and paste it. Except I'm not going to call it run, I'll call it not accelerate, but a little bit faster. So this just means if I press the right mouse button and I'm pressing forwards or backwards, then I can move faster, about double the speed, because it's 600 when it's not pressed, and when the right mouse button is pressed, it's 1200. I'm going to press compile. Sounds good. I'm going to save all. And I'll press play. So I walk over to the bike. I press Z. Okay, she's mounted. And I can move around. And if I press the right mouse button, it doesn't look like it's going faster. I'm not too sure. I'll press Z once more. And there you go. Now I can move around. Okay, I think that's enough for today's tutorial. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of refining that I need to do. I need to add the animations of her actually mounting and dismounting. That acceleration at the end didn't seem like it was working, so I got to figure that out. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.